somebody does, just for example, push you, you're gonna roll out of it. When you roll, this is the point, is you wanna roll and get yourself situated right here. So if your attacker's still coming at you, you can fall, roll, and be ready to get back up. Hello everyone, my name's Mariah, and I'm here to present the best program out there made for women and girls to learn to defend themselves. The world is getting a little scary, so it's best to be prepared. I fell in love with the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because that art made it possible for someone like my size to learn to defend themselves. I always thought learning to defend myself was not really possible. You know, karate had the showy roundhouse kicks and this and that. It just wasn't practical. But when I found Jiu-Jitsu and found that I could defend myself, I fell in love and went out into the world with more confidence, and my path has exceeded beyond a normal path that somebody would expect me to go through. But I exceeded that, and I want to share that with all of you so you can feel comfortable in your surroundings, in your body, out in the world, doing your thing. I'm a small person in the world. I never thought protecting myself could be possible. But then I discovered the martial art called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and that method is brilliant because its concepts is for a smaller person to use the size and strength of the bigger person against themselves. And with that, I feel safer in the world knowing that I can defend myself. I'm a lot more confident, and trust me, people feel that. And not only that, I can be more outspoken because I can defend myself and not be that meek person people expected of me. So I broke those rules, I bent those boundaries, and I want to show women and girls how to do the same thing. Body language is so important when it comes to defending yourself. First off, you don't want to be slouching. That says you don't feel good about yourself. That sends a really bad message to the evil people out there. You want to be upright, tall, with your gaze out. Okay, you don't want to look down. That's also a sign of a lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem. So you don't want to look down. You want to look up. And when you're walking down the street, you scan your environment. Let's say that a man is approaching you, and if you look into his eye, you make eye contact, you invite that person into your space. So instead of making eye contact, you can look to the shoulder, and that way you know that the person is there. That person knows that you know that they're there. But without the eye contact, you're not inviting. But just looking shoulder to shoulder, that sends that person a cue that you know they are there. Just remember, you own the space around you. It is your space, and if somebody comes into your space, you can do what you want to get rid of them. You can even say, "Excuse me, you're a little close, back up," because you need to learn to voice your comfort, or people will just take you over. Learning about base. Usually, we're standing, our legs maybe not too far apart, but if somebody comes to push me, I have no base. If my legs are close together, I'm topsy-wopsily here. So what you want to do is learn to get your feet open. Okay, you can go wider than your hips right here. And this is important too, is see, I'm going to stick my bum out. Okay, I'm going to have good base. If I'm up like this, I'm still, even if my legs are apart, I'm still a little wobbly. So I got to learn to get my derriere back, because that's your foundation. That's your base right there, is your strength in your glutes. And so you want to learn all about that. Once you're in base, I want to teach you that you don't want to keep your fingers open. You want to close your fingers. So from now on, instead of having hands with fingers, we are going to develop the concept of having claws. Okay, keep the fingers together, because if somebody does come into your space to take you down, you don't want your finger open. You don't want to have it snapped and have that be your focus and throw you into the response of panic. You want to keep your fingers together, because, that's it. You just don't want to break a finger, and that's the last thing you want, is to have something like that break your focus. So learn to have claws instead. Squeeze those fingers. They're your hooks. Once you're in good base, you have your hooks. Let's just say, if I put my fist up, this is a sign of aggression, so you don't want that. You want your fingers together, your palms facing forward, and this sends the message that back down, it's non-threatening, so palms up, facing the person is psychology where it's non-threatening to them. And this looks like you're ready for an attack. If you just take your foot back, you're prepared without looking like you're ready for them. So stagger your base a little bit, get your fingers up, you're prepared.
When practicing these moves with your friends, also practice speaking up.
So when you start training with people, if you don't like something, say something. Say, ouch, I have an injured neck. Please be careful with me. That is good, because people need to learn your boundary, and not only that, you need to learn it within yourself so you can project that to other people. Extending the base. Say you have somebody coming at you. Big step, big step. Hands, fingers together, right? Grip, grip. I want you to get as much distance between your arms and that leg. That foot is way behind you, and this is extended base. You're gonna brace your opponent to keep them from coming into your personal space. So here you are, you're using your whole body as a leverage point. Yeah. Go harder.
No matter how hard your opponent pushes, your base will not move.
Go harder.
When needed, pause this video until everyone has their turn.
Bear hug with your arms trapped. So your arms are trapped and they have their arms around you and they're behind you. Once their arms go around you, you're gonna base and lift your arms at the same time. Okay, and that's gonna drop your hips down, lift their arms up, and then you're gonna have some room to move. Once you do that, you step around behind them, hold on to their knees, and just toss. But this is important. Base and frame. Get that room, base and frame, step around, and toss them. say that you can't go this way around them. You got to go the other way. So base and frame, get around behind them. It just depends on the angle of their hips. If the one hip is too far forward and you can't get around it, you got to go the other way. Get behind the one you can, and then just pull, flip their knees. Let's say that we can't stand up all together, we end up on the ground. Besides, think it's something ridiculous, like 90% of all fights end up on the ground. Even in boxing, they all end up on the ground, but they make them stand back up. But that's not reality for us. Reality is we have seconds before we end up on the ground. Everything I've been showing in the standing position is hopefully doable, but fact is we get attacked when we're in our bed, okay? I've had a couple of friends share their stories with me when they've been raped, and the both times was they were asleep in their bed. So we gotta learn how to move on the ground and use the ground. And you know what? What's so beautiful about this is once we get to the ground, we have so much more power and strength on the ground. It's our benefit. It's our friend. Let's say your attacker gets past your kicks and he's too close to you that you can't really kick. But he's standing here over you and his ankles are right here and he's above you.
Notice when I hold his ankle, he can't step out. That way I keep control of him.
You're gonna grab onto their ankles right here. You're gonna take your heels, go back to the hips. You're gonna push the hips as you pull their ankles, and they're gonna fall. Push and pull. Push and pull their ankles. Ready? I'm gonna push you. Push and pull. They're down. With the ankle. With the leg. Whatever you can do to hurt them. Get up and run. Let's do that again. Push, pull. Push, pull. Push, pull. Get up. Yeah. Good.
That's good.
Ready? I'm gonna push you. Okay, bam.